Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. We've gone through all the research and articles you sent over on CoreWeave, the specialized AI infrastructure player. We're here to pull out the key financial takeaways. Our goal today, to analyze all this and tackle that big question everyone seems to be asking, is CoreWeave actually a good investment opportunity right now? Before we get into the, frankly, stunning numbers and also the pretty significant risks, please do hit that subscribe button for us. Like this video and definitely leave a comment. And hey, if there's a specific company you want us to look into for a future analysis, just drop the name below in the comments. We do read them. Okay, let's jump right in. If you've been tracking the AI and specialized cloud space these past few months, CoreWeave has been, well, hard to miss. But we need to be super clear from the start. This is a private company. So when we talk about valuation or price targets or maybe buying now, we're really talking about private equity, secondary market stuff, or, what analysts think might happen with a future IPO. The buzz you see is kind of spillover excitement from their public peers, basically.
Yeah, that's a really crucial distinction to make up front. But I mean, the speed of its valuation growth, that's why everyone's watching this private company so closely. Looking at the recent info, the momentum is just, well, undeniable.
It really is. And the numbers point to some serious hypergrowth. Through July 2025, some analysis suggested its valuation gains for the year had already shot past 200%. Then in August, boom, another jump valuation up 24.2%, mostly because of renewed interest in, the whole AI infrastructure gang.
And what's really interesting there is how analysts are seeing it. Even after that big August jump, some sophisticated models, specifically DCF, discounted cash flow, which is pretty standard for looking at long-term value, they were suggesting the company might still be trading at a huge discount, maybe 41.4% below what they calculated as fair value.
Wow.
It tells you that even with these high valuations floating around, the market, or at least these analysts, believe the future earnings potential is just that much bigger.
And then came the news that really cemented CoreWeave's place in the whole ecosystem, right? Late September 25th, they announced that huge expanded deal with OpenAI, potentially worth up to $6.5 billion. That's not just a big contract. It's basically a stamp of approval on their strategic importance.
Absolutely. And it ties right back to how CoreWeave positions itself against, say, the big generalized cloud providers like Amazon or Microsoft.
Yeah.
CoreWeave is all in on GenAI optimized cloud compute. They're laser focused on providing that top-tier GPU and AI processing power at a massive scale. That specialization, that's really why they're landing these huge multi-billion-dollar commitments that give them, visibility for years out.
Okay, let's shift to the fundamentals then, because this is where the story goes from just impressive to, well, kind of mind-boggling. We actually have hard revenue numbers for 2024.
The numbers are, pretty stunning. CoreWeave's 2024 revenue landed at $1.92 billion.
$1.92 billion, and that's up from $228.94 million in 2023.
Right.
That works out to a growth rate of 736.64% year over year. I mean, you just don't see that kind of acceleration very often unless a company is fundamentally disrupting something new. It just screams how intense the demand for this AI compute power is right now.
Exactly. And analysts are definitely noticing. You've got a consensus of 24 analysts rating the company a buy with a sort of modeled average 12-month valuation target around $121.95. But, for investors who might be worried about whether that growth can last, the really compelling part of the story is the backlog.
Right. That backlog figure, $30.1 billion, that sounds enormous. Can you maybe put that into perspective for us?
Sure. So $30.1 billion in backlog is essentially revenue they've already got contracted for the future.
Yeah.
Here's the context. That amount is nearly 6 times what they're projected to make in revenue for the entirety of 2025. Having that level of locked-in business gives them an incredible competitive advantage, a real moat. It provides multi-year resilience, cushions them a bit from short-term market bumps.
And that moat isn't just about the money, right? It's built on their specialization, the fact that they have these deep ties with major AI startups and big companies. That seems like a huge plus.
Precisely. They're handling these specialized, high-performance computing tasks that are, frankly, a real pain to move somewhere else. Once a client signs on for these massive infrastructure deals, the cost and complexity of switching providers become extremely high. So that builds genuine loyalty. CoreWeave becomes more like an embedded partner than just, another cloud vendor you can swap out. Okay, now, we absolutely have to talk about the risks because growth this fast, this explosive, it never happens without significant costs and operational hurdles. For a balanced view, you really need to look hard at these investments and challenges.
Yeah, that's the necessary reality check, isn't it? When you're boosting revenue by over 700% in a year, you're clearly pouring everything into building out infrastructure, that land grab strategy you mentioned, not banking profits right now.
Exactly right. So the profitability picture
Yeah.
currently is, well, it's challenging. If you look at the trailing 12 months, the TTM, the last 4 quarters, their net loss was a pretty substantial $1.1 billion.
Oof, $1 billion loss.
Yes. And what's more, that loss actually grew by 57.9% compared to the year before. The company is operating with these heavy losses because all the capital is being plowed right back into expanding, buying more GPUs, building data centers, basically everything needed to actually service that huge $30.1 billion backlog. We have to be clear, profitability isn't just around the corner, not in the near term.
You called it a land grab, which makes sense given the demand. But I mean, sustaining $1 billion annual loss takes huge ongoing cash infusions. How long can that go on before investors, especially the big institutional ones maybe eyeing an IPO down the road, start demanding a clearer path to actually breaking even?
That is the absolute critical question. And it brings us to the number one risk, execution. Scaling up capacity this quickly, this dramatically, it requires near-perfect execution. They need to build out the infrastructure without hitches, onboard these massive clients smoothly for those multi-billion-dollar deals, and manage their cash flow all at the same time. Then there's also market risk. Sure, it's a high-growth area, but it's also prone to really fast technological changes. And you can't just ignore the threat from the big hyperscalers. They're definitely fighting to get a bigger piece of this specialized GPU pie.
Right. And there's one more crucial thing you need to factor into any risk assessment, especially because it's private. As of late September 2025, we just don't have detailed debt figures or leverage ratios. There are no public 10K or 10Q filings with the SEC, so that lack of transparency about their balance sheet, that's definitely something you have to weigh against all the growth projections. All right, so we've laid out the foundation. High risk, high reward. So what are the upcoming things, the near-term milestones that could either support or maybe challenge that bullish view? This is where it gets pretty interesting for anyone watching institutional moves over the next, say, 90 days.
Yeah, we have several confirmed events coming up pretty quickly that could act as valuation catalyst or checkpoints.
Okay, first up is the Q3 earnings release. That's expected around October 15th, 2025. This will be really key to see if those big contract wins are actually translating into reported top-line growth. Second, there's the major index and ETF rebalancing on November 12th. Now, CoreWeave isn't public, so it won't be in the indexes, but changes for its publicly traded peers can definitely ripple out and affect sentiment and how people value CoreWeave itself.
Good point. And finally, there are the institutional 13F filings, which usually come out around December 5th. These show what big money managers were holding at the end of the previous quarter. Even for private companies, the market watches these closely for any signs, maybe commentary, maybe shifts in related public holdings that indicate whether major funds or private equity firms are still interested long-term. Is the smart money still in?
Okay, so those are the confirmed dates. But beyond that, there's quite a bit of, let's say, market chatter and speculation swirling around that could also move the needle on valuation. What are the main rumors people should keep an ear out for?
Well, the big one is probably talk about them potentially landing another major AI client for the end of the year, sort of a follow-up to that huge OpenAI news. There's also still some persistent speculation about M&A. Could there be a takeover bid or maybe a big strategic investment from one of the giant tech platforms trying to lock down specialized AI capacity for themselves?
Interesting. And there was one other rumor that could really impact their costs and tech capabilities, right? Something about chips.
That's right. Industry whispers suggest they might be in talks for a deeper partnership with one of the leading AI chip makers. If they could secure better pricing or, crucially, priority access to the latest hardware, that would be a massive advantage for their supply chain.
Yeah, definitely.
It just reinforces the idea that their edge really comes from that technological focus and building the right strategic partnerships. That's what's driving the valuation story here. So let's quickly touch on the technical picture. Again, remembering this is based on analyst models for private and secondary market activity, not a livestock chart. Despite the heavy spending and the losses we talked about, the underlying structure of the valuation modeling still looks clearly bullish.
Right. The modeling seems to back up the momentum story. The projected valuation is shown trading above the analyst estimates for both the 50-day and 200-day moving averages. That confirms a kind of sustained uptrend in its perceived value, showing a pattern of higher projected lows and higher projected highs.
Exactly. As of late September, that projected price was around $126.66, which is way, way up from the modeled 52-week low of about $33.52. Our sort of short-term outlook suggests the valuation might move between, say, $120 and $170 in these models, with key support seen around the $150 mark. This kind of technical modeling reflects a huge amount of confidence in the company's ability to actually deliver on that massive backlog.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the incredible growth, the locked-in contracts, but also the billion-dollar losses and the projected technical strength, what's the overall take?
Well, when you combine everything, the view leans towards an overall bullish rating. We'd probably put it at a strong 9 out of 10. The reasoning is pretty straightforward. That explosive revenue growth, their clear leadership in the specialized Gen AI infrastructure space, and crucially, that immense $30.1 billion backlog that gives them years of visibility. Right now, those factors seem to outweigh the current lack of profitability, assuming they can keep securing the capital they need to grow. They're running a high-stakes land grab, absolutely, but they have a remarkably clear line of sight to potentially strong multi-year compound growth.
So for an investor who can stomach significant risk, maybe in the private markets or looking ahead to an IPO, CoreWeave looks potentially attractive, both for maybe playing these near-term catalysts and for holding long-term if they keep executing.
I think that's fair, yes. The risk is definitely high. You can't ignore the $1.1 billion loss or the execution challenge, but the potential reward, capturing a huge chunk of this incredibly high demand market, seems significantly tilted towards the upside right now.
Got it. So CoreWeave, definitely a high-risk, high-reward situation fueled by almost unmatched growth in its niche and that laser focus on Gen AI compute.
Exactly. And maybe here's a final thought for you, something to mull over after listening to all this. If the demand for this specialized Gen AI compute keeps outstripping supply for years, really favoring focused players like CoreWeave, what kind of long-term structural advantage does a company like CoreWeave end up having over the giant, more diversified hyperscalers? And then what happens to their bottom line when maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, profitability finally does arrive and those huge annual capital investments start to level off? That's the potential multi-bagger question for the truly long-term investor.
That's a really fascinating question about the future structure of cloud computing itself. Thanks for walking us through this really thorough analysis based on the sources for CoreWeave. We hope this helps you frame your own thinking on it. We'll catch you next time on Investing Talk Podcast.